Hello again everyone. So as you see, we're in the gear room, the shack, and I just gave you a little brief look round at the beginning there, just to show you what the setup is. So we use it for storage of gear and whatnot. It's also my little bar as well, as I like a little tipple now and again. So it's just nice to come out here and chill out. Now today's video, we're doing a comparison side by side of the Hajka oven, this beauty here, which you've seen me use in a number of videos already and thoroughly rate the thing, and I still absolutely love this bit of kit. We're doing it with a comparison against the Coleman camp oven. Now this is in a response to a comment on my original Hajka review video by a David Bart 6144. Now he was bemoaning the fact that it was 224 Canadian dollars to buy one of these Hajka ovens, and he's saying a brand new Coleman oven costs about $100 less and has more interior space and a built-in thermometer, hard pass. Yeah, to be honest with you, they're two completely different kettles of fish, but for the sake of interest, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. Now, trying to get hold of one of these Coleman ovens in the UK is nigh on impossible. I was lucky enough, this came up on eBay during the summer months. It was at a very keen price and I snapped it up. It was under £50. Normally to get these you're looking at having to ship them in from America. They're average about $40 in America, but then you've got to pay another $40–50 on top for shipping, and that does tend to work out a bit expensive. So on that score, yeah, it may be a bit different for those of us in the UK here. Different parts of the world, yeah, different. It's different prices, and obviously shipping and whatnot is a big consideration in these things. So right, what we're going to do is we're going to crack on now. I noticed in the picture that they're cooking scones on the Coleman oven, so we thought we'd give that a crack. I've got a packet of cheese scone mix we're going to make up, and we'll set the ovens up side by side. We're going to cook them on virtually identical stoves. We're going to use the cassette type stove. A sort of fair balance there. Yeah, we're using the same type of stove for each, and yeah, we'll see how they perform side by side. Let's get mixing. So I've got my round chopping board, the one that sits in the top of my canoe barrel. Sits in there very nicely, sits nice and snugly in the lid. So we'll get that out, give that a dusting. We've got our cheese scone mix, just a cheap supermarket packet mix. Let's crack on. We'll bust open the packet of mix, so that opens quite easily. Makes a change. Normally these sort of packets you're struggling to get them open, you end up having to cut them open, but that came undone alright. So that goes into a bowl. Move the van blanket over a bit. I've just washed that, so that'll go back in the van in a bit. Now, according to the instructions, I'll mix it into the bowl, add the milk, and then knead the mixture very tight, very lightly to form a soft, smooth dough. This is where I get my fingers all covered in it. Bring it on. So what I should have done is made a little well in the middle of the flour and poured the milk into that. Never mind. Let's go in. We're going in 2 fingers deep. Yeah. No, get that. Oh yeah, let's go in. Get that all nicely mixed up. Trouble is that that's sticking to my flipping fingers. We job I washed my hands and trimmed my nails earlier. God, dear God. Okay. Right, I'm sure you don't want to see me doing all this. We'll stop the video here. So that's the Hajka set up, ready. We'll get that lit and warming in a moment. We'll get the Coleman set up. Now obviously the Coleman's a much bigger, bulkier item. It's much heavier. It's a bit of a disadvantage straight off compared to the Hajka, because the Hajka is lovely, compact and lightweight. This is a bit of a bulkier beast. We'll drop that like that. Now you've got these top and bottom bits, and they have to engage into the little tabs. You've got little tabs that engage with the slots on the side there, you'll see. Make sure it's engaged in that side as well. Can be a bit of a fiddle. There we go, that's the top done. Now all engaged into the slots yet. The bottom again is a repeat of the same. And that has dropped in first time, straight away. Look at that. Now as you'll see, this has been used before. In fact, you probably recall one of my videos, I did use it to bake a blackberry and apple flan. Oh shit, that's another disadvantage with this, is it is fiddly. And if it's been used a couple of times, that bottom plate distorts with the heat, as you'll see, especially if you don't get it lined up properly. And that can be an absolute pig to line up and in. I think we've got it. No. Well, that's being a git, that is. It's been a right awkward git. Now, there you go. That's it. And then what you do, your cooking rack, you'll just engage with 4 lugs on the end, 2 on each side, and they engage into these slots. Not that slot. Oh, that one. That one. So there you go. That's that. Plonk him on the burner. Now we'll make sure that is lined up right. That, I mean, look at that's distorted on the bottom, and that is wobbling about. That's not right. Get these clicked on and get them on and warming up. So that one's clicked in already. We'll get those warming up while we prepare our goodies. And before any of our viewers across the pond pick me up for saying they're scones, no, they're biscuits. They are biscuits, which basically is like an English scone but with more butter in it, and really delicious. Really delicious. But say we're making cheese scones, so which are similar. Right, let's get the stuff rolled out. Okay, so we've got our mix all kneaded up. That's our dough. Now what I'm going to do, as I'm cooking a batch in each, I will split it in 2. Little flour on the board for dusting. Do the same with the roller. squish it down by hand to start with. And get that rolled out. And normally I think you roll these out sort of about, I don't know, is it a quarter to half an inch thick? Can't remember. What does it say on the instructions? Always follow the instructions. Roll out the dough on a floured surface to approximately 2 centimetres thick. So 3/4 of an inch. Really? I don't think so. Because they rise, don't they? I'm sure they rise. I'm going that thick. Alright, let's cut some rounds out. There's the one. There's two. I get a third one. Ooh, ooh, just. Right, so these ones will go in the Coleman. I've got a pre-greased stainless steel baking tray. Got these quite nice. These I picked these up off Amazon, and they were £6 for a pack of 3. They're quite thin gauge stainless steel, but they look about the right size for the Coleman. So we'll get those in there. I'll roll that dough out. I reckon I can get at least another one out of that dough there. Right, ball it up and roll it out again. Right, so we've got our 4 each. 4 for the Coleman, 4 for the Hajka. Let's go over there and whack them in. Okay, so we've had time to warm up. You can see that's gone up to 250. I think that's going to be a bit hot. We're going to turn that one down. There we go, turn that right down. Now, that is, we're going external temperature. External is about 108, we'll just do an internal. Well, about 170 it came up there. Yeah, about. Right, we'll turn that down a bit as well. Don't want it too hot. Yeah. Oh, I'll just flicked it back on a bit. There we go. There. So, Hajka. Lid on. Coleman. Well, that is warm. In they go, and we'll see how they go. We'll let them bake for a bit and see how they come out. Yeah, hopefully there'll be some interesting results. I've wanted to do this comparison for a little while, and yeah, glad I managed to pick up the Coleman oven. As like I say, they're pretty difficult to find in the UK, and this one came up second hand at exactly the right time at the right price, and I just had to snap it up. So yes, I've sort of kind of had my eye on them for a bit anyway. I've quite sort of fancied one of those, so first time trying it out in anger as such. And we did a little flam with it, obviously, back in, what was it, September, and it was all right. It was outside, and I hadn't quite set it up properly, and I'd left gaps all the way around the sides and whatnot, so it didn't heat up properly. But it seems to be heating up better here. So yeah. So yeah, the video review I did of the Hajka oven has provoked a couple of interesting comments. Obviously the one that we're obviously doing this comparison off the back of, and somebody else said about a Dutch oven, saying that a Dutch oven does exactly the same job. Oh, yeah. Good luck fitting one of them in your backpack. Hajka scores over that any day. Yeah, Dutch oven's ideal for a campfire. I mean, I'm not knocking them, they are great. They're lovely bits of kit, I love mine. Ideal for campfire cooking, but if you're out backpacking or just camping, you want something lightweight, the Hajka's your boy. Yeah, it gives you that option. You can bake stuff I don't know, say you fancy some chips or something while you're away, rather than having to bring a billy can and some cooking oil and run the risk of setting light to your tent and everything else to cooking them. Hiker oven, little packet of oven chips in the hiker, done, job done, nice and clean, no mess as well. So yeah, really can't rate that thing highly enough. So we'll come back to that when those are cooked, and yeah, see how they come out. Right, so I've got the gas down on the Coleman as low as I can get it on this stove, and that's still about 210 on the Celsius scale there. So I might check those scones before the 15 minutes is up to see how they're cooking. Same with the hiker, because the hiker does tend to cook stuff a bit too quickly, and it does tend to burn the bottom of stuff a bit, which is why I've put a wire trivet in there. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes in, let's have a look. Oh blimey, yeah, they're done. That took less than 15 minutes. Right, so that will turn off. Hiker ones. Yeah, they could. Yeah, I think they definitely benefit from the full 15. Let's get the glare of the light out of the way. Yeah, that has surprised me. That is an incredible piece of kit. Yeah, hiker still scores for me, just purely for the practicality, and its lightweight and usefulness. And it's compact. Yeah, it's so compact and lightweight. Yeah, not knocking the Coleman. The Coleman is good, and yeah, we might be using that for our Christmas camp. I can see me cooking some lovely Christmas goodies up in that. So right, we'll come back in another 5 minutes and see how they've done. Hello, time is up. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I would give them another couple of minutes. They're golden. I don't think they're golden enough. Hey Siri, set a timer for 2 minutes please. The Coleman's cooled right down now. Yeah. Right, now let's just have another 2 minutes. Oh, I think they're ready to come out. So gas off. And we'll get our little hot handle, and we will put them on the cooling tray to cool off. Right, so while we're waiting for our scones to cool, we've got kettle on for a brew. It's one I picked up quite recently actually. This is a vintage Histon Evercool with the proper whistle, pop on and off whistle. Not quite sure what vintage, I think it might be 50s, but it goes with a primer stove because as you'll see, I do love my vintage gear. This thing, absolutely fantastic. Now I've fixed it all up and got it working. Really pleased with that little stove, that Primus. So, right, get the tea on in a minute. Right, let's get our brew on. Already put the milk in there, so it might take a little bit of mashing to get that to a satisfactory colour. Okay, so just out of interest, we'll have a little weigh in. So your hiker oven tips the scales at well, about 2 kilos. Not too bad. Coleman. So take it out of the box, because really you'll only be carrying that metal bit. Put him on the box. Oh yeah, there's a bit of a difference there. That is a good 3.5, nearly 4 kilos there. So quite a bit of weight difference. So the Hajka is obviously the lighter of the two. Comes as no surprise. So yeah, for backpacking wise, great bit of kit. But yeah, the real, that has been the star of the show, this one, really, to be honest with you. And I've been so sceptic of it. Yeah, for what I need for van camping, it's a good proposition. Oh. Right, these are suitably cooled. I think it's time to cut in them and see what they're like. I've got a bit of butter. Let's give them a go. Alrighty, so oh, good rise. Let's have a couple of them. A couple of them are a bit thin. I'll try the thinner ones of the bunch. I'll go for a medium actually. We'll go for that one and that one. Right, so that's Coleman, that's Hajka. I see the Hajka has definitely browned a bit more on the bottom than the Coleman. But still good rise on both. The Coleman's definitely more of an even bake. Let's have a look inside. Oh, I do feel like Paul Hollywood here. Oh, yes, that's good in the middle. That's cooked all the way through. And the Coleman one, because that cooked it a bit quick. I'm just wondering if it's going to be a bit doughy in the middle. No, it's really good. Good texture. Right. There we go. Bit of, oh, too much. I'll get comments in the comments section. Oh, you're too much butter on there. Oh, it's not good for you. Oh dear. I'm of that age now. I don't really care too much. You know, I'm getting near to retirement. I've lived long enough, I think, to enjoy a little luxury. Scones and tea, what could be more British? Let's try the Hajka one. Shouldn't be any difference, it's the same mix. No, it's not dry. That's not dry either. That's pretty good. It's supposed to be a cheese scone mix. I'm not getting much of the cheese in that, to be honest with you. And that's not a fault of the ovens. That's the Tesco mix. Rather pleasant. And there you go. That is, excuse me, how rude, talking with my mouth full. Oh. Oh, so there you have it. That was the Hajka oven versus the Coleman camp oven. Now, thoughts on these? I was sceptical of the Coleman camp oven, to be honest with you, I won't lie. But combined with the cassette stove, it worked really well. Developed plenty of heat inside once it was set up properly. Now, when I did the foraging video, which you may not have watched, I suggest you go and have a look at that if you haven't. I used it for that to cook a blackberry and apple flan, and it took flipping ages to cook. Now, I think it was probably because I hadn't set it up properly. Having set it up correctly here, with that, as I say, with that cassette stove, it developed plenty of heat inside. Now, obviously, this is indoors, so you've not got things like wind blowing across it, which will obviously cause a cooling effect and whatnot. So we really need to get it outdoors properly on a proper camp out setup and try it out. But really rate it. Good bit of kit. Very difficult, as I say, to get hold of in the UK. If you can find one for the right price, as I say, normally £40–50 is about the right price to pay for one over here. Likes of eBay, you'll have a hell of a job finding one in, you know, this side of the water. Most of them for sale on there in America. I think I've seen a few in Japan, and yeah, they're the right price, but it's the shipping fees that really knock the sort of double the price up on them. So yeah, but glad I got it. Definitely a keeper. Now the Hajka, as always, performed faultlessly. It's lovely and compact. It's a lot lighter than the Coleman. It's about half the weight of the Coleman. So it's more suited for slinging in the backpack and taking with you. You can use it with one of those little spider stoves. Great little setup for that. Yeah, it's superb. It's got all the bits in there that you need. The little baking tray with the little grid to keep whatever you're cooking off the bottom of the tray. It's got the ceramic coated dish, which I used for cooking, so you can use that for baking. You can cook cakes, pies, whatever in it, oven chips, that sort of thing. There's also a steel disc for cooking pizzas on, so in terms of adaptability and being ready to use and not needing any other bits to go with it, this wins hands down. Absolutely no doubt about it. It is a hands down winner. With this, you need to buy separate baking trays and you know, stuff to put your food in. Basically what you get here is just a basic kit, an oven with a grid for putting stuff on, and yeah, it's once you add in all the other bits and pieces you'll need to cook with, it does get quite bulky and takes up quite a lot of space, and obviously it's heavy. So another win for the Hajka, I think. Great little bit of kit. I'll definitely be taking that with me on more camps. Yeah, can't knock it. Okay, it's a bit pricier. It's twice the price of the Coleman, but it is twice as useful, half as heavy. So yeah, big winner. Right, I'm going to finish these 2 scones off that I've just baked. I'll share the others with the family. I'm not going to eat them all myself. And have me a cup of tea. And we'll see you in the next video. Hope you've enjoyed this. Give us the old thumbs up, like thing. You know, the usual like, subscribe, notify, all that. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio everyone. Bye.